Hey, everybody. You know what time it is. It's time for the Galactic War. Nope. It's time for the human battle. Shit. It's time for, that's right. It's time for Syntax Live because you know what time it is. It's the same time every week. And I'm honestly just burning some time because a few people got to get through all those commercials that come in first thing. So I'm just going to burn the first 30 seconds to a minute so everybody can skip through those god awful commercials you guys get at the start of my screen. I don't know why they do that to me. They don't even really pay me for them. So you know what? It is what it is. So looks like we're up and running finally. So again, welcome everybody to Syntax Live. I hope you are all doing great. And I want to say really quick, thank you to everybody visiting. Thank you, all the supporters. Thank you, everybody who listens to the channel, who comments and thumbs up the videos. I appreciate every single one of you. Who's awesome? You guys are awesome. So let's get started by popping a top. Okay, I missed that like the Swedish chef. And we'll put this inside a glass. And, you know, something that I want to keep saying to those of the woke inside all the science fiction, here you go. If you can read that, this is what I want to give them right now. So I just got foam up my nose. Give me a second. Try not to sneeze. Okay. I'm going to go through my comments today or that you guys put out during the week. Make sure we can get everything squared away. First things first, the series Damn Humans, it's done. It's over. I don't think I will ever extend on that. I didn't set it up to be extended on, so it is what it is, folks. I'm glad you enjoyed it, but for those who asked if there's going to be another saga to that, probably not. Everybody's already got the shit kicked in, so they're done on that. There was a few questions on why I kept hinting at, oh, this is going to be the last one. Then it went back. Then it's, oh, are they finally going to go in? Folks, it's the ebb and flow of warfare. There's always a back and forth for a while. And that's what I want to emphasize in the story. As they're like, no matter how much we push, they push us back. And then whatever, it's just back and forth. Those damn humans, why can't we just go in and crush them? You know, it is what it is. Anyway, give me a sec here, trying to top off. All right. The final attack on that series where they came after Earth. Hopefully, I'm not doing a spoiler alert for anyone here, but that one was actually based off Battle of the Bulge. That's where the inspiration of that, where the final last-ditch effort to push everybody back. That was kind of the point. And apparently, you guys like the jokes. You guys like the references. Like, I thought I saw a putty tat. Sir, you did. You did tell putty tat. Speaking of which, sir, if you end up watching this, your shirt went out. I, for some reason, didn't get the email until, well, it's the first time I looked at it in 2 or 3 days. So that's when it came in. I know you sent it about a week ago. For some reason, I don't know what Gmail's problem is, but it didn't come in. Your shirt's coming out. However, I tried to throw on a Navy sticker for you. Unfortunately, all I had was Marines at the time because I grabbed the wrong one. So it is what it is. So just so you know, I'm not going to BS. Apparently, folks didn't think that having an exosuit burst through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man was such a bad idea. That honestly came right off the top of my head, folks. I'm actually going through all my notes. I'm like, oh, you know what would be funny? And thankfully it hit. So, and let me know, guys, if the jokes just suck so I don't do the same joke twice. I don't want to be one of those guys that every time he opens a fortune cookie goes, oh, help, I'm stuck in a fortune cookie factory. That joke's so old, it's an antique. All right. I also want to give a hat tip during those to a few of the other really well-known science fiction. I hat tipped Aliens. That one's obvious. It's one of the two most well-known lines in the entire series. You know, get your hands off her, you bitch, or get away. And then the other one's game over, man. Game over, which was actually a ad-lib for those of you who don't know. And hopefully the Planet of the Apes reference wasn't too on the nose. I do have to say there was one thing I wanted to do, and I couldn't do it. And when you guys heard me talk about they could hear music, nobody else knew what it was until the humans showed up, and they're like, that's the cavalry. I wanted to actually be playing the music in the background. I did a little check-in. I would have been snagged with copyright. Copyright sounds like I tried to say coffee at the same time. I would have been snagged with a copyright strike, and that whole episode would have been deleted. Even as you guys were watching it, I've known that to happen. Thankfully, it hasn't bit me in the freaking nuts, but I don't need it to. This channel hasn't even breached 9,000 yet, which, by the way, those of you who've been helping me out on that, again, appreciate you very much. Somebody brought up the Dragon Riders and Dragons in Exosuits. Again, not in the original outline, but I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Although I do think that a full-blown dragon in a bionic exosuit would be horrifying, especially as it's spitting fire while somebody's on its back firing a full automatic, you know. Okay, one of you guys brought this up, and any of you actually making a story has to remember this because I try to put it in all my stuff. They were talking about how nobody understands battle tactics except us. Well, you got to remember, different biology means different battle strategy. You can have the exact same terrain, but if you're facing off against a Xeno that has claws and fangs and venom and farts freaking fireballs, then yeah, they're going to have a different battle strategy. They're going to try and capitalize on that. We don't have the natural offensive stuff, so we had to work around it. So, and that was the whole thing. There was a big to do in the comment section about that, and I just wanted to put a nail through that one. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. I've been running around all day. I've been moving around so much today, I didn't even get a chance to shave today. Okay. You guys brought this up, and there's not much I can do about this except constantly fix it. And I've fixed the playlists on all of these things at least once on every single series. I don't know why YouTube insists on shuffling the videos. I'll fix them when I can, folks, but it's getting too much. If I had to go every day and fix those, I wouldn't get a story out. Speaking of which, there is one dropping today. It is part 4 of So Warm, which kind of the funny one. This one gets a little, well, you know what? You know how much I hate spoilers. I'm not saying anything else. I'll just let you know the next one's already queued up. It's ready to come out. Let's see. The Saturday Night Special, folks, that was an inspiration from an old country song, actually, was the key to that. Just like I used, what the hell was that movie? Not Evil Dead. Why do I want to say it? Death Wish 3. You know, my friend Wildy's Coming was a very big inspiration for it. However, this is more of an HFY with a little bit of fantasy in it type of channel. So that's where that was. If you're interested in actually hearing the song in the video, go down to the comment section or the description, and I actually have a link for the song. As far as Saturday Night Special, you guys thought that was different. Yes, it was meant to be different because I've done a lot of, real serious stuff. I wanted to uplift a little bit. I just want to throw something in there. I hope that didn't throw anybody off. It is what it is. I have written here, sir, your shirts. I have no shirts that size. I got you as close as I could. I just don't have that size. Hopefully that you can get them to fit somehow. I'm very limited on what I got, folks. Okay, I already mentioned this, but again, subscriptions are up, so winning. And thank you. Also, I do have to say, for those who are going to ask, yes, the one dropping today is not the last one in that series. However, I got at least one more series after that I have to finish, which is Midway. And I'm sure those of you who watched or who listened to that know that that one can go on for a while. I don't want it to. I'm hoping at most it's a trifecta and we're done with it. However, no matter how many times I try to sketch it out, it's getting difficult. I know some people like the short form series, like 1 or 2. Some people like the just one off, and some people like the long form multi chapters that go on for a month. I can't make everybody happy. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. God help me. I'm trying. But yeah, that runs down most of my comment section ones I want to touch, and we've only been going for just under 10 minutes, which is good. Hold on, let me get another sip of industrial waste here. I'm just kidding. They're actually good folks. Just want to go into some of the sci-fi, folks, that's been going on recently. I'm sure you guys heard that the assholite, also known as the acolyte, got shit canned for the second season. Thank you, God, because that motherfucker, oh my God. I tried, God help me. I tried to watch one blip on YouTube on that thing about 3 weeks ago. And I literally just sat there doing this like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. Did they ever read any of the source material? I don't even like Star Wars anymore. And even I know this isn't even close to the source material. What the hell were they? No wonder they got canned. Nobody liked it. It was terrible. For those of you who have not watched Deadpool and Wolverine, I finally got a chance to watch it. I just happened to be out and went, do I have enough time? Yeah, but this is going to come close. And I finally got a chance to watch it, folks. It especially if you grew up with comics, you're going to like that. There's a couple characters you're just going to be like, what? Because 1 or 2 are just going to be out there and you're just not going to know what the hell they're talking about. Trust me, it's good. There's one character I despise that's in it. And you know what? I hate spoilers, folks. I'm just going to say it's worth watching. Regardless of what I didn't like about it, there was so much that I did like that, again, winning. Let's see. For those of you who are into the animation, Kite Man, hell yeah. It looks like Kite Man, hell the fuck no. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but you can tell the original writers are there and the original producer. And I'm just like, what in the flying fuckle knuckles is going on? Because that's just no. It's so many levels of no. I mean, have you actually read the original character? These are preset characters, folks. You don't screw around with preset characters. That's why I don't watch the show Invincible, because I read the original comic. The original comic was okay at best, but for the love of all that is holy, if you have a preset character, stop trying to change them or trying to change the premise to talk about the message. You know, it's just no. No. Just in so many levels, no. I can't enjoy it because unfortunately that's all I see is woke bullshit. I can't enjoy the good parts because there's too many bad parts to it. Don't get me wrong, the good parts are really good, but the bad parts are holy fuckballs. Woo. Now, if you can, on a lighter note, if you can suspend your disbelief a little bit, as in a lot by the end, the movie Sisu is actually a fun watch. I'm probably, if anybody is from the area of the world, I know I'm destroying that word because we Americans cannot pronounce it for dog shit. I've tried. I've known people who spoke that language, and when I said that word, they looked at me and go, "You sound retarded." I'm like, okay, sue me. I guarantee it's a few words that I say that I talk about you can't say. Trust me, they can't even curse from that language. Anyway. Sorry, I'm very dehydrated. But anyway, that's the key thing. Sometimes you just need a good, unpretentious movie to enjoy. That's why Nobody was good. That's why John Wick, even though I haven't seen the last one, except for that whole thing with trying to turn Halle Berry into John Wick, was really, really done well. I mean, all the rest of it was really good. I enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm going to see the other one, and I can give you guys a thumbs up or thumbs down on whatever. Nothing against Halle Berry. I just don't think she can play an action role to save her tits. I mean, that it is what it is, folks. There's plenty of actors that are very good at what they do, but they're niche actors. They're very niche actors. And it is what it is. So, on that note, every time I do that, I feel like Zathras from Babylon 5. So, what can I do for you? What can Zathras do for you? Okay, and see, hey, can we hit the likes button a little bit, folks, so I can actually get some more YouTube love? That'd be nice. And let's see. Demon's here. Erica's here. Yeah, Erica, I saw that whole thing with you on Rumble. And the reason they sound different from here to there is because the only thing posted on Rumble is mostly older stuff. So my tone has changed because I've evolved over time. I don't know if it's hopefully for the better, or maybe for the worst. I don't know. You guys got to let me know via comments. So, you ever love it when you got to sneeze, but you can't? I mean, seriously, I don't think I can reach that far up into my head to scratch it. Excuse me. Okay. Guard saying good evening. Crew Carnage. Thought the last chapter sounded familiar. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Eric is saying hi. Yeah. You must have put that in before I even started talking about it. Yes, thank God it was canceled. Hold on, folks. Wait a minute, because something just popped up on my screen. Let me scroll down here. And we got a $5 super chat from Guard. Let me write this down before I read you there, Guard. Let me get the... okay. Man, I can't even draw today. MTF. Motherfuck, no. Guard. Okay. With a $5 super chat, he says, TBH, I just want to be nice. Plus, I get paid on Friday, so spend it if you got it, right? Hey, to each their own on that one. Actually, the money you guys sent last week sent Sir his shirts and a few other items went out today. So, yep. I appreciate every single thing you're doing. I appreciate you guys sending stuff in. I really do. I'm not going to sit here and beg for money, folks, but I do appreciate every single one of you. Hell, just being here, I appreciate you here. This extra, that's extra. That's icing on the cake, but the cake is still good. So anyway, let me, I wrote this sideways. Plus this thing slipped out of my hand. So anyway, let me scroll back up here so I can actually get to you. And I'm saying it was canceled. Thank you, Jesus. Guard says, and that's about as far as I'm going to dip into that so you don't get into a rant. Now, I know you don't want to that I don't want to get into the bullshit. An exosuit smashing through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man. Sounds awesome, the little exosuit. It's supposed to give you that ability. Yep. That was actually one of the things I noticed they almost never do on a lot of these. Hold on, this thing jumped. On a lot of these science fiction is they don't show that exosuits are quite durable if built correctly. And you should be able to simply just jump up. And I got to hold up. Wait a minute, because this thing started blinking at me again. And we got another $5 super sticker from Erica Gem, our wonderful viewer who's truly outrageous. And let me write this down. She doesn't have a comment, but thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate it. And we got a $10 super sticker. You guys going to give me a neck ache this way from SS Demon. Any type of demon you particularly want on there, if you guys put in your stuff here in the super chat, and by the way, this side is the screen's where I see it. If you guys put your stuff in, put in the side comments, I'll be going through them. if there's something particular you want when you get your shout out, any type of picture in particular, the only reason I stuck Erica, she gets, Jem, who's truly outrageous, because you never said anything else, and I think she gets a kick out of it. Sir, he gets his the aircraft carrier. Guardian Sage, he likes his wizards with dragons, preferably a dragon wizard. So, if you guys want anything particular, all you have to do is mention it. I will do my damnedest to find something that fits. That being said, again, thank you very much, Demon, and everyone else for helping him out. Before I forget, I got to write that down. Damn it. SS Demon. I wonder if it's Demon. Maybe I'll get you a very debonair demon next time. Straighten the tie right before he pulls out a friggin' Uzi and blows your head off. Okay. Now, where was I? Okay, the exosuits. Let me get back on target here. But yes, the exosuits are definitely something that should be more common. It is the next evolution up. Now, a lot of people will bypass the exosuit in science fiction and say, oh, they're just full of super soldier serial semen something or other. And I'm just like, whatever. What that is them trying to be cheap about it. They have a lot of trouble putting the Iron Man out there. Now, I mean, now that they got Unreal 5 and all that stuff, it's a whole lot easier to do it. But when they first started, it was very, very expensive to show Iron Man in the suit, unless he was physically wearing it. And if I remember correctly, only once he ever actually had to wear it for a fairly long period of time. And that's when he was doing his whole partying at the house, blowing up watermelons and such. He said he hated it, but it's really expensive. So it's a whole lot easier to say, oh, this person has a metal arm where it's just a little sleeve they put on, or, oh, he's superhero soldier, so he doesn't need any armor. It's just a way of saving money. But when they do use exosuits, they never show them to their potential. And that was the reason when I did the Isekai with a healer, this is what the potential is. And honestly, he's not even at his full potential at that point. When it gets extended, you'll actually see him reach beyond what you think is going to be normal. But again, the potential is there. Ernest saying, checking in, good job with the jokes. Well, thank you. Ava saying, tank versus 40-ton excavator. Don't think the tank is going to be in pieces once the excavator gets next to it. Don't think that the tank is going to be, well, it really depends at the distance they're at. If the excavator grabs a hold of it, you're pretty much screwed. That's a lot of pull that thing's got. The problem is tank is about 60 ton. Actually, it depends on the tank. Now, if we're talking about like a T-34 or something, those are pretty damn light, like a Sherman. If you're talking about an Abrams or like a Leclerc or something like that, those are pretty damn heavy. But you're still going to do some serious damage to it. Military gear never beats construction equipment. Well, sometimes you can just outfit construction equipment to be military equipment. And that's one of the best tropes. I enjoy when they do that. Okay, Brian says he's going to dinner. Okay. Someone who's a fan of the Planet of the Apes, where I've been waiting a long time to say this. Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape. Kapow. Okay. Deathbed saying dad jokes are fine. Good. Okay. Demon says, one of my favorite scenes in Apocalypse Now, the cavalry flying into music. Yeah, again, I wanted to, well, not Ride of the Valkyries, but the, dun, 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 the old school cavalry. And that was actually originally it wasn't meant for the cavalry. That was a command. Once they fixed bayonets, that was the signal to charge. That's why you hear it before the cavalry rolls in, because that's telling all the cavalry in every direction, we're going, motherfucker. Let's see. Guard says, can't wait for Sin to have a story where the guy bags a 9-foot-tall Minotaur girl with a chest big enough to smash a car hood. Don't question my taste. Guard, I think I figured out what your thing is going to be. If you don't want that, you better tell me. And I don't know if she's on top. Does she have to do all the moving? Okay. I know, bad joke. Anyways, Leon says, in a world with the magic system, the magic bullets are stronger than the regular bullets. That's how I understand it. That really, there's a lot of factors on that. And that's something if I was putting that in, would really have to explain that. Now, any type of magic pistol, is that magic that is getting pulled from the ether? Is that magic that's preset inside the cartridge? Is that magic that's flowing from the person? So every time they fire, they get more and more tired. That's a whole bunch of stuff you'd have to go after, because if it comes from a person, they could literally just charge up really, really high, like they do in, I forget the anime, where the guy, he's got his right eye blown out and his left arm is just gone. Now it's some metal piece of junk, and he's got this like 400-year-old vampire who looks like she's 10, but he's screwing, which honestly, that makes me not want to watch the show. That is enough for me to say, I'm sorry. I don't care how good the show is. No, I know the Japanese got a thing about girls being young, but seriously, folks, no, that's not right. I mean, don't get me wrong. Except for that point, it's a great show. It's funny, but I'm just like, no. You just had like 5 layers of skin just crawl down my back. This just Anyway, in that show, he's actually able to charge up the weapon. He can fire as a normal pistol, but if he charges it using his own magic power, he creates a type of electromagnetic on it. So once the bullet is fired and goes into the barrel itself, pardon the hand gesture, goes into the barrel itself, it's the electromagnetic, just like a rail gun, is going to suck that thing forward even faster. It's got a boost, so it doesn't have to start from a dead stop, which is going to make it a whole lot faster. Basically, it's around the same premise as the 40K bolters, although those they fire normally, and then there's a rocket engine that fires off. Yes, there are pistols that do fire that way. Yes, there is ammunition. No, it's not legal to have it. Reason being is the first thing people did is they made them explosive. But if you're talking about straight from the person, you can make a magic bullet from the rifle, from the pistol, a hell of a lot stronger than a standard one. However, can you keep that up? Probably not. Ava's saying, what if I have one long form series episode, a 2-week short series episode a week, and the rest ones being one-offs? That might keep everyone. I'm trying. The issue with that is, just like the files, I'm getting like no traction on it. I have that's actually been pushed back. It's probably not going to have another one for another 2 weeks. And that was a series supposed to come out every Sunday. And it's just, I'm trying to, okay. I stepped on my own tongue. Sorry about that, guys. Let me explain real quick. When the one-offs come out, they have the potential to be series. Sometimes I'll put 2 or 3, 4 of those out. And if they get a lot of traction, I will look into extending them. The only problem is, just recently, I had an issue with, I was trying to do 3 different series. Every 3 days, I would hit that next series. Like series 1, 2, 3, the next episode for series 1, 2, 3, and the next episode. Guys, that will get you so confused. And I said, fuck that. And I was just like, okay, you guys wanted this series, so I'm doing it. Damn Humans, that's what you guys got. The next one, So Warm, and there's more to that than meets the eye. And no, it's not a Transformers thing. And then after that is Midway. I mean, those are series that you guys requested. And originally, the only one there that was, actually Midway and So Warm were supposed to be series. Damn Humans wasn't originally meant to be. If anything, it was going to be a 2-parter, and that's it. The thing is, morphed into something more. Just like the Galactic War Games. You guys love that one. And I enjoyed doing it. It was fun. I can't push it any further, which kind of sucks balls, but originally I was supposed to be a one-off, turned into a series. So anyway, that's funny, Guard. The power of one, the power of two, the power of cancellation. Yeah. Thank God for that. Guardian said, you mentioned you finally got a chance to look into your emails. Did you get a look at everything in your email and the links and attachments? No, I did not. I didn't. The reason I went in there specifically is because I was like, wait a minute. I haven't heard anything about Sir. And he mentioned it that he sent that he wanted the t-shirts. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like I said, I mean, just today, I've had my brother and my sister here pulling me in different directions. Plus, I had to go and help my dad. It's just, I'm lucky I got anything that's dropping tonight. And it honestly, I was about to wait until tomorrow because it's just, I'm just gonna write myself a big ass notes here that says, check your emails, you moron. There you go, big letters for me to do that because just unfortunately I'm not getting in there as much as I would like to. What I really want to do is be able to sit here and finish up for the next channel as well, because I really want to get that going. You guys said you want to, where I would just facilitate everything and you guys would actually be the ones playing the game. Let's see. Guard says, but in all seriousness, and it's gotten so bad that people are now giving those who praise it being canceled literal death threats. Really? And if I read it correctly, somebody's already really? Well, I think I would rather enjoy practicing some of my jiu-jitsu again. I don't get a chance to practice. It might be interesting to choke someone out again and wait for, to hear the pop right about here, which if you don't know, that's a bad thing. That's actually a really bad thing. My favorite way of choking people out is the paper cutter. It's where you take your humerus muscle, or I keep forgetting it's lateral or humerus. Anyway, you put that and it's right across here, and you're literally putting your fist next to the neck and you're going right across, and everybody just turns their neck. It's a natural thing. So they're pinching off this side and then you're pinching that one off. It doesn't work as fast as other chokes, but it hurts more. And yeah, if I want you to freaking give up, I want it to hurt like hell. Plus, I'm a little overweight at the time. I'm still not back in the gym. However, it's nice to know that you guys care, and I appreciate the warning there, Guard. I didn't know people were attacked over some, message lying bullshit. I mean, that show was just horrible, just god awful horrible, just so bad. I mean, as soon as I could literally look at the screen, aim at the main character, and go, meat gazer, she's a meat gazer, there goes Star Wars. It's gone. It's dead. The stop trying to Heimlich its ass. You're not going to bring it back to life. And damn condensation on that thing starting to drip on me. Anyways, I'll keep my eyes open, and if anybody doesn't like the fact that Star Wars is dead and they're again trying to, give mouth to mouth to its anus, they can find the darkest part of my ass and kiss it repeatedly. Let's see. Leon says Suicide Squad anime just ended. It was decent. I didn't get to see it, obviously. Some of it came up on my YouTube stuff when I was going through, and I didn't even get a chance to watch it. Honestly, they screw up Harleen Quinzel so much. It physically hurts me because she's a character I enjoy, because you get to watch her development from, watch her backstory when after she flirted her way through med school med school. She's a shrink. Those guys they're fucked in the head anyway. All the way to when she got fucked in the head by the Joker. And let me just back up and wait a minute, just a little bit, because we got a $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage. Let me write this down real quick, Guardian, before I forget. Mr. Wizard, who likes his dragons as he hits them with his walking stick. Oh, well, wait a minute. Didn't they do that in a movie? Shush! He says, please and thank you. Hope it helps when you get to my request story. Note, please have my next shout-out pick to be a male nine-tail kitsune. Okay. Male nine-tail. That might take a little bit of digging on that one, because let's just say when people draw kitsune, they kind of aim for something else. I won't mention a little too much about what it might be, but yeah. I do try, since there's so many people who listen to my stuff who enjoy kitsune. Yes, I'm talking about you, War Sniper. Yeah, I'll try to put more of those into the story, but I can't force something into the story that just doesn't fit. Okay, if it fits, I'll use it. Just like those in BattleTech with a catapult. If it fits, use it. It's just But I'll do what I can on that. Okay, where was I? Okay, let me get this. I hate skipping people, so. Okay, there was the whole physical attack thing. Okay, Suicide Squad anime, again, didn't watch it, but I wish they would do justice to the Harleen Quinzel character. And that when I made my character for the DC universe, even though there's no way they'd have it, it's actually kind of funny because he's almost always known Harleen as the better person, the better version of herself. He's never known her as Joker's bitch. He's always known her as afterwards, when she's more than willing to bite the Joker's lip clean off his face and then crack him in the nuts with her freaking baseball bat. Like Mr. Floppy says, throw some pennies in his face and kick him in the groin. And then spit in his face. And when he wipes it away, kick him in the groin. That's exactly what she'll do. She'll rip him off if she can. Guard says, I still can't help but call Clayface Michael Jackson. I've actually started I'm glad you brought this up, because actually nowadays when people say, hey, this person sounds like Michael Jackson but doesn't look that way, I'm just going to start yelling, that's Clayface, because that just fits. It fits so well. Let's see. Guard also says, I can't. It looks like him. He dresses like him in some parts. He literally sounds like him. Clayface will be forever known as Michael Jackson in Suicide Squad anime. See, you're talking about the anime. I haven't seen it. So there you go. Apparently they blew his head off, and I don't know how you do that with Clayface and you actually do any damage. So whatever. I do know that when I wrote my character and he meets Clayface, he does fuck Clayface's world up, because he gets absorbed. And well, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but he's with the Bat family because they want to keep an eye on him, because they think the character I create is kind of a wild card because they don't know much about him. And, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, that sort of thing. Well, they go after Clayface, and it's like the entire Bat family, like every single one of the Robins, every single one of the Batgirls, all this other fun stuff. And Clayface is basically having his way because it's close quarters. And the guy just stands there, kind of looks at him. It's like, well, this will be easy, and just kind of absorbs the guy in. But my character has a type of energy shield, and he can't read minds unless he makes physical contact. So he has to physically drop the energy shield. If he does, Clayface is just going to run that clay down his lungs and friggin' suffocate him, as if that would actually kill him. And all he does is he releases the one on his hand, and he doesn't sense just one Clayface. But 2, if you've ever watched the episode from back in the day from the second animated series of Batman, Growing Pains, by the way, you better have a drink on hand because you're going to want one by the end of that series, or by the end of that episode, because it's fucked in the head. It's actually so deep and so traumatic that they won't show it to kids anymore. Anyway, my character is like, you, like in the dark, you just hear, you motherless. And then Clayface pops like a zit and sprays all over the place. And there's my character holding this other character from that episode. And he's just screaming, Tim, get over here. Tim, get over here. He's like freaking out because he's got to keep constant contact on this girl, or else she's going to wake up. And if she wakes up where she is, she's going to freak out even worse than she's going to freak out later. And there's a whole big thing. And spoiler alert for my stuff, she actually becomes another member of the Titans. She's a shapeshifter as well, which is why at one point you see, as my character is talking with Alfred, here comes Wonder Woman, behind her becomes Wonder Woman, and behind her walks Wonder Woman. You got Wonder Woman, Miss Martian, and then Clayface daughter there, and she's practicing shape-shifting, and you can't tell the 3 apart. And the guy sits there, he's like, hey, Alfred, what did you put in my tea? I don't know, sir, but I don't think I'm going to purchase this brand anymore. And it's just meant to be a joke. Anyway, sorry about the side rant, folk, but let's see. We got King here, Ashuria King. And no, sir, is it Sarian? Yeah, I'm going to mispronounce that, so I'm just going to say King. I hope you don't mind. King says, hey, Sin, I just watched Avatar from 2009 with the blue Smurfy cats. I have thoughts on it. Also, do you find stories where humans actually lose to aliens than win? If written well, of course. Do I actually find them or do I actually do them? I've done them. I've done a few. Actually, the one called It's Always a Trap was actually meant to be a series. It didn't catch well. But that was one where we lost, and we lost big. We actually lost everything. And our guys are out there, and we're being hunted the whole time, and everybody's saying, oh, we got him. Fuck, it's a trap. It's a trap. All that shit. And, but yeah, I've done those before, and you got to be very careful about those. Just like I just did the one Saturday Night Special. Earth was completely removed. Life was removed from that planet. If it walked on 2 legs and spoke a language, it was dead. And it's just gone. And that's the thing. Huge loss there. So yeah, but you got to be really, really careful with those, because most people just don't like that, because there's nothing to grip a hold of. You need something for everybody to grip a hold of. So if you're going to write something you're going to actually have an actual, like long base story on, people got to be able to sink their teeth into something. How do I put this? Okay, I'll give you one from BattleTech. This is why they have trouble getting new people. Okay, they're on a planet they don't know anything about, usually. They're with a population that doesn't match most of the people they deal with, as in they're very segregated in the BattleTech universe. They're in a culture they don't understand, because just the look of them might be completely different from their culture, especially if you're stuck in Canopus or something and wondering why all these big brawny guys are basically being walked around by collars. And if they disobey once, they're going to lose more than their dignity. They might lose a pair or something. What the hell is going on? There's nothing to grip a hold of. You need something for people to sink their teeth into. So that's why you got to be careful with the one where Earth loses. If you start on Earth and eventually push yourself away, there's always the hope that might come back, which was the premise of Titan AE. Okay. Lena says, I personally like the version of the Star Wars where Anakin wrote the thesis about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis. I enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, that was actually that was probably the best scene in all the prequels, and there was no fighting. It's just kind of guys talking about the lore, which I thought was nice. Have you ever heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Yes, I have. He was killed in his sleep. Let's see. You rang. Okay, greetings. Okay, everyone's saying hi. Let me scroll down here. Demon says, don't mind me. I'm only running on 3 hours of sleep. It's been all dude, you're okay. Preacher, choir sitting right here and probably in the rest of the audience as well. Let's see, Lena, you are wearing a brand new exosuit that is made of the cheapest military supplier. I hope you enjoy. Oh man. Hold on. Let me put that in my tactical toolbox for later because you know what? I'm gonna put that in there. I didn't Leonid, you fucking genius. Okay. I didn't even think about that. Is yes, it would be made by the lowest bidder, and probably going through a stone wall, solid stone wall, you probably fuck up your exosuit. However, the one I just did there is going through basically brick, so yeah, it would give. But yeah, that's I didn't even think about that, Leonid. I gotta remember that because that'll play into one of the next stories. Oh yeah. And for those who don't know, back in the day when you said military grade, back in like World War II, you'd think it was rugged and tough. Well, back when we had our original BDUs in Woodland Camo, you could go your entire career with the same uniform you had in basic training. That's how rugged the shit was. Now it's lucky it lasts a year before the crotch blows out and you're walking to the PX with your twig and berries hanging low. You know, what the fuck? You know, like, hey, cover that shit up. I don't care. It blew out when I was on the track line. Go change your pants. I'm coming here to buy pants. I don't have any more. And all of them are blown out. The new multicam ones are a little better. Not really. As far as the material, it's still really, really fucking thin. Let's see. Demon saying, use whatever pick. I don't care. Well, you might think about that twice. Oh, shit. Did I see it? I don't think I saw this. Did I even write this down? Oh, shit, Ava. I'm sorry. I didn't even see it. Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, Ava. Don't hit me, Ava. I'm sorry. She sent in a $2 super chat. I can't believe I missed that. And she says, I like big guns and shells. C4 makes fun shapes. I thought you were about to say, I like big guns and I cannot lie. But yeah, fun thing about C4 is you can actually pull it off. It's like a really hard Play-Doh. You can peel it off. You spread it out to about maybe, I don't know, ½ inch to a ¼ inch thick. Put it on the ground, light it on fire. You can actually boil a cup of water in about 20, 30 seconds. It's incredibly hot. Don't get it anywhere near close to your hands. And for the love of God, don't step on it when it's burning because heat and pressure will make it go off. But electricity will definitely make it go off. But yeah, sorry. Seriously, sorry about that, Ava. I didn't even see it. For some reason, it didn't come up on my thing. I don't know what the fuck. Maybe I just didn't see. I'm sorry. But yeah, big shells, big guns, and you know what whenever you talk to engineers, you always ask, how much C4 do you use? Well, we have an equation. It's called P for plenty. In other words, they don't care. They're not unwrapping the brick of C4. They're taking the double-sided tape that they already have on it. They're pulling it off, slapping it on, shoving in the detonator and going, you might want to back up. You know, because believe me, these guys, when they want to make a hole, they're making a mighty big hole if they can. You know, the thing is, sometimes the worse something is constructed, the harder it is for the engineers to deal with it. When I was over in the sandbox, when they blew open the doors that are just sheet metal, if you didn't get it exactly on the latch, then that door would just bend forward. And you're just like, okay, now I still can't get in. You're sitting there with the hooligan tools trying to beat the shit out of the wall. It's not fun. Eventually, they realize just strap like 3 of them along the side, and yeah, you'll blow half the wall apart. Just don't be inside the building because it might come down on you. Demon saying, that's so you, Ava. Ernest saying, how about Battletech Farm Mechs? Oh, Agromechs. It depends on what you're using it for. The thing is, the construction mechs, the agromechs, the logging mechs, all those are modular. They're very, very modular, so that you don't need multiple mechs and one's just sitting there, because the engine itself and the base chassis is expensive. You got to think it's the same thing. If you're using an excavator, the head of the excavator, they all come off. I know I have one. And we have like 2 or 3 different heads for the fucking thing. We have an older one, so it's a lot harder to change. But the newer ones, you literally put it down, you pull one pin, you turn it, and it comes off. You go to another. So with the aggro and the logging mechs and stuff like that, yeah, you can have some pretty nasty stuff on there, and it's gonna be holy hell for infantry and lighter vehicles. I still wouldn't want to go against a friggin' summoner with it. I mean, hell, even a Hellbringer is as weak as the armor is on a Hellbringer. I wouldn't even want to go toe to toe with that. I just got a friggin' farming mech. Excuse me. Oh, ish. Bite Me says, been loving your stories as of late. You're in the groove. Yeah, I'm groovy, man. I'm groovy. Guard says, for the Minotaur girl, yes, and to keep the corny jokes coming. Why not? I mean, I can't even think of anything right now. I pretty much used the best one I could. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you could just say Minotaur girls are horny, but whatever. Okay, Demon says, in reality, I like the Abrams, but when I play Battlefield, I prefer the Russian T90. The aiming sights work better for me in game because they use different sights on the tanks. The Abrams use the box. Yeah, the thing is, I've actually looked through not only the aiming sights on an Abrams, and I actually know what they use in the T90, and apparently they nerf the shit out of the Abrams sights because I should say the optics, because some of the stuff they have, they can flip from thermal or FLIR to night vision to all these other ones so fucking fast, and they're so much better than what's inside the Bradley. It is scary. No joke. I'm sitting in a Bradley and I see just a little bit of movement in the thermals, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm zoomed in all the way. I can't see any further, so I call the tank on the other side of the bridge. It's like, hey, I see something. I lased it 1,600 meters out. I stand up just enough time to see the tank go. I mean, just within a second, whoosh, that thing spun around. Next thing I hear inside the radio is on the way, which is, if you didn't hear me, it's on the way, which, by the way, they did do that right in the movie Fury, where the guy says that before he fires. That is exactly what they're supposed to do. So as much as I don't like Shia LaBeouf, he did it right. And sure enough, it's like when he fired is like the biggest test or tracer round. Pow! Bullseyed those guys. I mean, just crazy, which is good because I don't want to clean up another civilian car that got hit by an IED. It's disturbing at that point. Okay, on that note, okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it was a double. See, Abram used the box with a circle in the middle, and the top used the L and the little lines for distance on it. Yeah, it takes a little practice. Oh no, you understand T90 on that Demon. You're good. Ava's asking where's War Sniper today. I don't know. Maybe he's not in. Oh, we haven't talked about Consunes enough. You say it enough time, and it's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. He just shows up. Let's see. Lena says it's kind of like elemental powers that the bullet cartridges are preset with like a magical gunpowder, I suppose. Yeah, I remember there was a manga I read a long time ago where the guy actually had basically air magic inside the AK cartridge. So when he hit the primer, it was like just a burst of air. It was still fairly loud, but it wasn't quite nearly as loud as an actual controlled explosion. And then the cartridge, since it was made by magic, when it was ejected, it would disintegrate. The bullet would disintegrate after about a minute, but after that, it's already done its job. That's a decent magic gun as I'm concerned. By the way, like the man says, AK-47. When you absolutely positively gotta kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitute. Okay. Guard says, finally beat Rykard and agree the manga is a lot better, though since she's aged up a bit more, she's at least looks 16 or 17, but the anime makes her look like a child. And the anime is Arif, I still can't pronounce it right. Arifureta. Yeah. Yeah, I still can't get around that. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't care if the guy's 16 and she's 600. If she looks that young, just no. Just no. Just guys, no. Let's see. Rykard is the boss from Elden Ring. Okay. Guard says, I like the file. Something fun to listen to while I'm on my day off. Yeah. There was actually about to be a pretty big twist too, but again, I wasn't getting a lot of traction on it. Maybe the fact that I used werewolves on the last one. But it is what it is. Okay, there's yep, I got you on that one, Sage. Let's see. Lena says, Star Wars Old Republic cinematics are always good to be the best Star Wars ever created. I'm trying to remember which one that one is. Is that the one where I think they crash into the Jedi Temple and a whole bunch of really angry people with red dildos come and slash against the people with green and blue dildos and like kill everybody by shoving their dildos into everybody? I mean, you would think that'd be fun, but I mean, it's whatever. Ava's sitting here saying, Guardian like femboys, I think. Okay, did I read the wrong comment after what I was saying? Okay. Lena said, Korean Kitsune. Oh, fuck. I've heard about this. Oh, you guys, seriously, the Korea Kitsune, I'm trying to remember. There's a specific name for it. It's not actually called Kitsune. It is one of the spookiest motherfuckers you will ever deal with. I mean, this thing is, how do I put this? It's kind of like the sirens from the Odyssey, but she doesn't use song. She uses, she's got to get like really close to try and seduce you. I'm sorry, but I have a serious problem with any woman who eats a man penis first and slowly devours him while he's like basically magically drugged on the ground. And by the way, guys, I'm not kidding. It's actually quite gross. I know it's supposed to be a tale to make sure guys don't go philandering with the hot girls, but still, ugh, sorry, no thanks. Ava saying, artillery shells are shaped just right to sit on. I'm not reading the rest of that. Guardian says, I'm a male and I'm a shifter. I occasionally take on the form of a kitsune. Why not? Girls like the ears. They think they're soft. And plus they like to fluff the tail. Isn't that the whole thing with the kitsune? Got to fluff the tail. That was the anime about 2 or 3 years ago where that's all the guy wanted to do was pet the tail. But I'm sorry, I don't care if just like the other show, I don't care how old they're supposed to be. If they are the size and shape of a child and even talk kind of like one, no, just no. Brian is here. He says, I'm back after 8 days. It's my Friday adult beverage. Yeah, hey, I'll drink with you. It actually tastes really good. Okay. Demon says, I'm not off work, so no drink for me, but cheers, buddy. Brian back in here and go, the Hectolite was canceled. Yes, we've been talking about that for a while. So thank you, G. Oh, that was so bad. It was so bad. Especially with a main character who's a meat gazer. Ava in here go, I'm very, very sneaky. Very, very, very sneaky. And by the way, guys, I was able to pull that joke off one time in my entire career. No joke. We're doing what's known as a sand table, where you draw everything out on the ground. It was a really big sand table. So diameter across has got to be at least 20 or 30 feet. And we're going through each of these things. So you can actually stand on the sand table. Well, when I started, the commander's over here. I'm on the other side. But when I knew it was my turn to speak, I'd already snuck around behind him. He's like, hey, where is he? I'm like, right here. Sorry. He's like, oh, shit. How'd you get behind me? As I walk forward, I go, I'm very, very sneaky, sir. And everybody just busts out laughing. I want to stay stone face. I'm sorry. It slipped out with the very, very sneaky. And even I was laughing. But had to do my part of the brief. So anyway, if you guys can pull that off, and just right, do it. Let's see. Ninja Shark. At least it's not the baby shark. Watching YouTube, and he's going to delete the video at 1 million views on YouTube. In the video, if the live on Twitch stream, he did on Twitch challenge for the Twitch streamers goes below 10,000 on Twitch. He goes to delete this on YouTube. The video is 5 hours long, named Doug. Is that like the Dig Dug cartoon or what? I don't even, honestly, if he's trying to do what he's doing is fishing for views. And honestly, most of the streamers who fish for views don't have any content that's actually worth the shit. So hang on. Wait a minute. Something is very right here. We got a $20 super chat. Ow, that hurt. From Brian Kemp here. Let me write these down. You know I write these down because everybody who sends these in gets a shout out during the week. Anything $5 and below gets condensed into one. Everybody else gets their own, as long as I can swing it. And also, Brian, if you have a particular picture you want up there when you get your shout out, let me know. I will do my damnedest to make sure that you get what you want, because that's what this channel is for. You guys wanted actual live people doing the stories, actual original stories, no AI bullshit. Here's what you got, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you. Thank you very much, Brian, for your support, and everybody else for your support here. And I'm going to jump back up here so I don't miss out on anybody's stuff here. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, yeah. As far as the fishing for views, I'm sorry. You guys find me fishing for views, somebody find me and smack me upside the head. Again, most of them are, they don't. If you're fishing for views like that, or please help me out. 1 million views on YouTube is somewhere around $2,000 or $3,000 he's going to get in one night. That's what he's doing. He's using you to get money from YouTube. And I'm sorry, but no. Let's see. Alina says, you need to hide your planets and make them expensive for anybody to invade. Don't mind me just developing lots of different guns that are aimed at the ships and spy drones. Well, we got enough drones nowadays. It's bad enough. Making your defenses so deep that any victory would be as bad as defeat has been a common use tactics throughout all of human history. That's why siege warfare is something that is, even throughout history, has rarely actually been fully accomplished, because siege warfare is difficult. It's very difficult. You charge up those walls, everything there is designed to kill you. Everything there is meant to stop you long enough so somebody can put an arrow into your face, or drop a rock right on your face, or drop a log onto your face, or, hot oil onto your face. I mean, are you kidding? I mean, hot water even. You get boiling hot water and spray it on your face. Believe me, you're going to freaking run, especially if you're not ready for it. You might think it's a good steam bath for a second until, your flesh starts melting off. And the reason that it was usually hot water instead of oil is because oil was expensive. If they were using actual oil, they actually had to go and kill the giant swimming mammal and then harvest all the oil out there and get it back to you. Oil was expensive, people. Oil was very expensive. So that's why it was rarely used in siege warfare. But yeah, that's why you always layer it. Me personally, the layers I like is the outer layer is sensors and mines. Okay. Anything that's, how do I put this? Passive. Something that they're going to start flaunting, coming through and not realizing that the mines have already attached to the hull of the ship. Now, if they're meant to go off as soon as they're hit, okay, you're not going to get as much because chances are after 2 or 3, shuttering of the ship, try saying that 10 times fast. They're probably going to hold up and go, wait, we're in the middle of a minefield. Let's find a different way. But if you get the mines all over them and signal them to go off at all at the same time, well, that ship's probably venting more atmosphere than, anybody who's eaten Taco Bell for 3 days. It's after that, long range cannons, and probably any type of torpedoes that can reach out that far. That's for your next best bet. After that's going to be your direct fire weapons, most mass drivers. After that's going to be your, I shouldn't say coil guns, but your tertiary, your smaller cannons, and your shorter range, mostly missiles, which are more agile than torpedoes. And of course, going back in, you're going to have your ships, then you're going to have your satellites. Then past that, you're going to have your ground-based missile attacks, but you're also going to have any atmospheric fighters that can just simply turn their nose up and fire their missiles out in the stratosphere at you. That's your next layer, all the way to the ground. It's a layered defense, also known as elastic defense, also known as castle defense. And in the modern area, hippity hoppity, get the fuck off my property. That's what that is. So yeah, it would be very, very difficult to actually get in, which is why when I wrote the whole story about them hitting us with EMPs, thinking that was going to work, it kind of did, but it really didn't. Excuse me. Okay, Lena says, sometimes I like watching terrible writing advice videos and I like some interesting tropes. Yeah, they are. Sometimes they work. The problem is a lot of these tropes are, how do I put this? The biggest sci-fi trope that drives me nuts, and it should drive everybody nuts, is as soon as you complete the objective to take out whoever the bad guy is, there's a worse bad. You're suddenly back at square one, and you gotta basically go through the same shit to reach that. And once you reach that one, yes, there's another bad guy who's even worse, and you gotta go through. It's just over and over and over and over obnoxious. Or they'll completely reset everything that they built up. There was one show, I don't remember what it was. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day, where there was an invasion of Earth, and they figured out that if they melted down the armor of these mechanical things, they can make bullets that actually punch through these mechanical armor, because standard bullets weren't good enough unless you had full-on Modus armor-piercing rounds, and even those were only minimally effective. Well, at the beginning of the next season, they had none of that. It's like they had forgotten how to make the fucking bullets. I'm like, come on, people. Okay. We got Bite Me here. He says, so Korean kitsune are basically succubi. There's Well, there's actually a type of Korean succubi. It's actually straight up Asian type succubi. It's not quite the same thing as the kitsune. The kitsune is actually there to consume, not to, and if they consume enough men, they actually get pregnant. At least that's what they say. I say she probably did a freaking praying mantis. She made it, then she killed the guy and used his body as nutrients. Let's see. Korean kitsune. You know, I'm gonna kill this one, Erica. I'm Kamiho or Jumiho. I'm probably destroying those. So, whoa, this thing jumped like crazy. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly which one of those it is. It's been so long since I looked into it. It's crazy. Let's see. Lena says there are multiple Star Wars Old Republic cinematics, I believe, almost 30 minutes in total if you put them all together. Okay. Good to know. Ava says, my family calls it my vanishing act. They looked away for a moment. When they look back, I have disappeared. They still haven't worked out how I do it. So you're related to Batman? Is that how you do it? Okay. So you're Ava. Okay. Okay. Guard says, Jesus Christ, I just carried a match on Rainbow Six Siege so well. Ended up getting 12 kills between all 4 rounds. That's really good, actually. I may as well have been playing by myself. I'll forgo the obvious joke on that one. But the thing is, whenever you're doing those, and they're actually games where if you take one to the head or one to the chest, you're done. Or if you're too close to a grenade, you're done, and you can't just respawn. You got to use those fatal funnels, man. You got to use them. Every corner should be an ambush. Every alley, or whenever you're going down a hallway, always remember to chuck a grenade way far out in front of you, because they'll either A, try to throw it back, or they're going to friggin' be running the other direction trying to figure out what's going on. And if it's only an L-shaped intersection, bounce that sucker around the corner and really aim high. So when it bounces low, it gets behind them. So if they're running away, they're going to be like, oh, shit. Or they might actually run straight towards you if they're not careful what's going on. That'll help, but it sounds like you don't really need help. Sounds like you're fucking everybody's faces in. Brian says, I found a nice pick. Okay, well, again, if you just want to tell me what you want for yours, I'll do it. Ninja Shark says that YouTuber is the same guy that banned his own Twitch chat. He got a bot to ban his own. Why did he get a what? Why? Wow, the things people will do to try and get somewhere. People are desperate now. They think this is easy. Folks, I've been doing this for almost 2 years. I have 8,900 subscribers right now, and that's it. Okay? People don't realize, unless you are extremely lucky or have an extremely wide niche like the chubby Sparky over there, the fat electrician, he became internet famous. He could, if he wanted to, actually leave his job and just do the internet stuff for the rest of his career. Will he? I doubt it, because that doesn't seem like the type of person he is. But very few people that happens to. Very few. Holy shit, so few. But he found a good niche. And if I was wearing a hat, hats off to him for that. No, let's see. Let's see. Demon says, when I worked in a restaurant as a general manager, my employees used to always tell me, because I'd always sneak up on them when they needed help. I'd see they need a hand and come up and help them. I'd get there just to help them, and they would turn around and ask, and poof, there I was. And they always jump and yell at me, don't do that. Let me guess. They looked at you and said, don't have that damn thing down in front of me. How do I know you're not making faces at me in there? Yeah, Demon, Mr. Dark Helmet himself. Okay. Ava says, plus I learned how to, oh, okay. Sorry. You guys are cutting in on each other. It says, plus I learned how to walk silently on gravel in steel capped boot. Oh, really? Yeesh. That's not easy to do. When I worked in a precast concrete yard, earning the nickname Shadow because I always appeared and always behind you. That's, yeah. That's always a good one to have. I used to have an extremely heavy walk. I had to learn to walk lighter too. By the way, anybody out there, if you have a really heavy walk, you need to lighten that shit up because it's terrible on your knees and worse on your ankles. Basically, you got to learn how to walk with a slight bob in your knees bent, so you bob almost like a bird, just a little bit. I had to tell everybody who was foot marching the same thing. You got to bob as you're walking. Because if you walk straight leg, where you lock your knees out before you hit, the shock wave from the base of your foot goes all the way up your leg into your back, and it hits every joint on the way up. It's not good. But if you learn to be soft and you can be quiet, yeah, you sneak around. People are like, how do you do that? People worry about talking shit behind your back because you're standing right behind them. End up being like that movie City Slickers. He's a lunatic. We're being led into the forest by a lunatic. He's behind me, isn't he? Let's see. Demon says, oh, nope, I just read that one. Ava says, Attritia and guerrilla warfare counter each other, but fortress and siege tactics counter anything short of nukes when using current designs of fortresses and siege tactics. That really depends. There's a lot of factors in that. It really depends. There's a reason they say that static defenses are the graveyards of armies. I mean, it's just the way it is. And before I go any further, guys, if you mind, if you haven't already hit that like button, I appreciate it. Now, as far as the siege tactics go, it really depends on what weapons are available and what style of fortress you're assaulting. Believe it or not, that's a huge factor right there. Because when they started using the mountains in the Pacific as a fortress, they didn't realize that we had flamethrowers. If we didn't have those, just dropping the satchel charges down there to blow up the tunnel was doing fuck all. I mean, they would know the satchel charge was coming, except for giving them a headache. You might get one guy. That was it. And but if you went down and 4 or 5 guys are shooting their entire combat load into that hole, then it's gonna pull everything out of their lungs. Most people are gonna die of suffocation, and they're already dying of overheating in there, which you wouldn't think it'd be hot in there because most tunnels, if you go spelunking, are cold. But in the Pacific, they were fucking scalding hot. Most of those areas are still slightly volcanic. So, yeah. Again, it depends on your style of fortress and depends on the weapons used. So, siege tactics, one of the best siege tactics ever is starve them out. Just starve them out. The problem is, do you have that much time? Because sometimes people are very well provisioned. If they are, and you can't damage said provisions, you're going to be there for a long time. Let's see. Ava says, siege tactics are used for both the aggressor and the defender. Yep. It's basically a game of who's out thinking who at that point. Oh, sorry, this thing jumped on me. Give me a second, guys. I don't know why this thing jumped so far. Okay. Guard says, Gotsin, one full-blown body-twisting backhand coming from Kentucky the moment you start fishing for views. From Kentucky, no butt stroking. If you don't know what that is, that's when you take the back end of a weapon and hit it on the back of someone's head. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, also still have the dent in the skull. I don't need another one. Guard says, this is from an alien. How are the humans blasting through our armor? Their laser weapons are almost pathetic against us. Yeah, those aren't lasers. That's actually really good. I'm going to use that one. Tracers confused fused as lasers. I don't know. That's actually a pretty good one. How are those blaster bolts getting through? This shouldn't be able to get through. We can stop any electric. Wait a minute. How come there's holes in the sky? Let's see. Guard says the song "Bad to the Bone" begins playing as humans with 100 pounds worth of body armor walks around the corner with a 12-gauge shotgun with a shell loaded in. I'm suddenly thinking Married with Children without Bunny. Let's see. Ava says humans have durable bodies resistant to slashing attacks as well as blunt force attacks. With only natural weapons we have is our fists, which bypass anything but one-piece armor suits. See, the thing is, I kind of agree with you, Ava. As far as shallow slashing attacks, you are absolutely right. As far as what blunt attacks, the majority of what we would get on this planet, you're right. However, depending on where you're striking and with what, you can end someone really quick. The old, excuse me. And I only say that because this is one of my instructors. When we started practicing stick fighting, he said, sticks prefer hard parts. I'm like, what? Sticks prefer hard parts. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. If you hold up your hands and you try to defend with this against somebody who's stick fighting, your chances you're going to break your arm. Okay. If you're doing that with a blade, it's going to get caught on the bone. It's either going to get caught or it's just going to stop it. It's going to hurt like hell, but it's not going to go through. That being said, the squishy part farther down, I hit that with a blade, it's going to go all the way to the bone, causing more damage. But if I hit that with a blunt object, I'm just going to have a really sore black and blue the next day. So again, it depends on, and this is why I keep saying the 5.56 millimeter round is a total piece of shit unless you know exactly what you're doing. And it's just because the 5.56 is a varmint round. It was designed for woodchucks. That's it. Anything bigger and it's going to keep shooting back at you. Unless you know exactly what you're doing. Okay, Demon says, that's actually a major problem we have with our infrastructure in America. All the old guys who knew all the manual overrides and systems retired, and the new guys only know the computer stuff. And once they get locked out of the computer systems, they get stuck. So companies just shell out the money. Yep. For those of you who don't remember, and this was about a year ago, less than a year ago, they had a problem. They want to send the old Stingers over to Ukraine. Well, none of the new guys knew how to operate and prep them for use. So they had to bring a bunch of old guys back to actually go through the whole thing. And they paid out the nose for that. Because a lot of these guys were like, you come at me with a needle, I'm going to hit you with this fucking Stinger. I'm going to shove it so far up your ass, the sensor is going to be what you're last thinking of as I pull the trigger. Speaking of which, those guys scared the hell out of me once. We actually stumbled across a weapons cache, and we looked at this guy and said, hey, we got some Stingers here. You want us to bring them in? No, we'll make them inoperable. How are you going to do that? Guy walks up with a ball peen hammer, picks up the front, and I just see him start swinging down. We all just go, we didn't know. He's destroying the sensor on the front. If you do that, it's a dumbfire weapon that literally can't arm itself. So, I mean, unless it hits you, it's not going to do anything. Even then, it might just push you over. But yeah, they had to shell out a shit ton of money. Let's see. Ava says, please rework Tachanka in R6 Siege. I watched the entire enemy team walk past my turret, not noticing me, and they stacked up next to the door. And I was just headshot, ducks in a row. Headshot. 150 character limit. Yeah, well, can't be writing a book here. Believe me, if I could write a book here and actually have time, I'd do it. Let's see. Guard says, God, I hate those shows where they have all this build up on how to defeat the enemy for the first season, and the second season rolls around. They're like, oh no, it ran out, even though it's like a 2-month time skip, and we were reducing tens of thousands of the ammunition that we needed to fight with. We were just stealing it from them by a half a mile cargo shiploads. Yeah, I could see that. That'd be like Pancho Villa finding one of those supply trains and going, it fell into the river. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, shit. This thing jumped like... I hate when this thing jumps. Okay. Let's see. Guard says, for Rainbow Six Siege on defense, I was playing Capcan, who puts down explosive door mines that can either be eye level, chest level, or the perfect level to remove your ankles from existence. Just below knee level is perfect, actually. I've been told that so many times. It gets stuck. He continues with, it seems like nobody looks down because I keep taking off people's ankles left and right. Well, at that point, the left becomes the right, right? Let's see. Lena says, do you want to know how to shut down Galactic Federation? You need to switch all the ones to zeros. At that point, their money will be becoming worthless. Yeah. Well, we'll just introduce them to something called the Federal Reserve, and their money will become useless anyway. Let's see. Guard says, the whole chat banning for Twitch reminds me of when the Minecraft YouTuber used a bot to nuke his entire Twitch chat of Minecraft. Not even joking. His stream went from having 56,000 to 17,000 views. I wish I could get that many views. It'd be nice. Or something along those lines. I have to look it up real quick. Ava says, ever heard of the saying, shoot yourself in the foot? Well, a few months ago, I went for a bonus points for melee damage accidentally. You still got stuff on here? I think it cut you off there, Ava. Guard says, I have a heavy walk too, but when I want to be sneaky around the garage, for tractor repair, I earned the name Heart Attack for the reason because I always manage to sneak up on them, though even the sound of a needle being dropped would echo through the garage. Yeah. It's something I had to relearn. I knew how to do it as a little kid, and I started getting a really heavy step, and there you go. I had to learn how to move through the woods really, really quiet. Used to piss off a few people because I'd always walk up and go, hey, it's the Op 4. You're dead, sweetheart. What? And I'd hit the release for the magazine, and then I'd drop it next to them. Hey, you dropped your magazine. What? Because they're tired. They're in their stupor. Let's see. Guardian says, how much wood would a wood chuck a chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? As much as it wanted to chuck. That's how much. Yeah, I remember the insurance commercial too. Hey, you woodchucks, quit chucking my wood. Oh, yeah, and then he wrote it down here. Lena says, your spaceship needs to do laser painting before firing a missile or a torpedo unless you just want to dry fire the ammunition into nowhere. Unless you have a system that automatically does that, yeah. Now, the thing is, I haven't done a situation where somebody's actually like the gunner, actually going through all the processes on that. Because I've seen the simulations where the folks have to do that for the Apaches. It's not super complicated, but it has to be done in exact sequence. And if you screw it up just the least little bit, you lose your lock and the Hellfire goes off to God knows where. But yes, you're right. You would have to actually lace the target before firing. But again, if you're out in space, what the hell? Unless they're firing diamond dust in front of you to try and make some sort of distortion, you're going to be able to lock onto them from so far away. It's crazy. Not to mention, that's what radars are for. If you can link your radar with the torpedo can take that almost the entire way there and then go, oh, I got a solid lock. Bye-bye other sensors. I'm going to hit my target. Alan says, howdy, y'all. Or all, whatever. Ninja Shark says, the YouTuber has 3 million subscribed and his name channel Doug. Just Doug? Why not? This YouTuber does crazy stuff on his own Twitch. Oh, okay. So he's one of those. He's a shock jock. That's what it is. He's a shock jock. That's all. Folks, that's all they are. Shock jocks hit their true stride with who was that friggin' I don't know. I think he was like the gay guy there. What the hell was his name? Howard Stern. That's right. He was the epitome of a shock jock. But the thing is, once he did his stuff, people got used to it, and they're like, "Oh, well, we got to push the envelope. The envelope's wide the fuck open. Now you're just annoying people." And these Twitch streamers and stuff like that, these what the hell they call those guys? Prank folks. When they get shot, when they get beat up, when they get stabbed, I'm sitting there going, "Joy, joy, yay! Do it again, do it again." I hate those guys. The one that got hit by a car, I could watch that all day. That was just funny. The one who got shot, again, I could watch that all day. And then he's standing right next to his mom. They're like, "You gonna go do it? You gonna quit doing this?" Like, "No, I'm gonna go do more stuff like that." "Oh, so you want to die?" I hope next time they aim a little lower, maybe remove you from the gene pool, you fat fuck. Ugh. Ugh. Ava says, well, I'm out for the night, so no sin. I didn't cut me. I dropped a knife on my foot. It didn't hurt that bad. Swords hurt worse than a knife. Well, I would debate which sword. Because some knives are serrated, so getting them out is going to be a real bitch. All right, see you, Ava. The demon says, I once shot a bird's toes off with a knife when I was like 8. How do you shoot it off with a knife? You're saying, and yes, the knife did stab me in the foot blade first, and yes, it's a 7-inch hunting knife. Okay, so it's relatively sharp, so that's clean. And it had a 1/6-inch thick blade. Okay, yeah, that's gonna sting. But again, hunting blades are usually very, very sharp. So again, clean in, clean out. Is it gonna hurt? Absolutely. It's gonna be very easy to stitch up, though. Last time I got something stuck in my foot was a piece of a window. Demon says, an old school barbecue gun that you would pump up. Oh, BB gun that you would pump up with air. You could remove the BB barrel, and it had a knife that would fit perfectly onto the barrel when you remove the BB part. And I wondered if the knife would stick to the tree if it shoots at. Well, I would think so. We used to have fun taking cleaning rods and a blank and actually firing those rods into a tree. Doug is not a prank YouTuber. Sometimes he watches. Just not my thing. Ninja Shark, just not my deal. I don't think I've ever come across his stuff. I might know him if I see him, but again, not my deal. But we're reaching the end of the chats, folks. So we've been on for about 90 minutes right now. I'm watching the clock up there. I don't know if you guys can see. It's over on this side where I am. Oh, crap. Yeah, right there is where I see it. And Demon says, I cried a lot when I was a kid. Didn't know the board. Yeah, that happens. Just like when you run over somebody's cat because it ran out on the road. Did you know the cat was going to run over? It is what it is. And I'll kind of slow down the chat here with, I will say this. Somebody brought up a very interesting point on a video I watched maybe about a week or two ago. He said, if you grew up saying it is what it is, you are one of the most dangerous people in the world, because not anything can affect you. You understand that the situation changed. You address the situation. You adjust to the situation. And now you can go forward in said situation. And they're not going to nothing can stop you. That's why saying it is what it is, which came from my generation, Generation X, even though I'm a late Gen Xer. There you go. Yeah, I would think they would take the friggin' BB gun away from you there, demon. Let's see. Ninja Shark saying, I think in the anime genre, they're going to do a country can summon to another world. Oh, hell. An entire country? Ooh, boy. Maybe one of these days that might happen. That might be cool. That might be horrific. I don't know. It depends on the world you're going into. Leon said, do you know anything about the Lyran Orion Galactic Wars lore? No, I do not. Not off the top of my head. I might have heard of something before, but nothing comes to mind on that one. I don't have a lot of time to dig into all these. It would be nice if I did, but I just don't. I mean, hell, I still have the one game I play is sitting right over there. It's about 6 feet away from this hand, and I still haven't finished the fucker. And I started like, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. It's just BattleTech. Anyways, it's crazy. Anywho's, where was I? I know I was on something and you guys had something on here. So anyway, Age of Extinction. Anyway, folks, if you have any more comments, questions, concerns, feel free to put them in the chat box. If not, we're going to be slowing down. We might be cutting the stream at this point if nothing else comes in because, well, we've been talking about a few different things. Oh, Age of Empires. Yeah, I played that back in the day. Age of Empires, believe it or not, was I found a glitch in the system which made it very easy to beat the computers. If you build a wall at least 2 or 3 layers thick, even if it's just Palanquin wall, that blocks you from the AI. With a few exceptions, the AI will not attack. Everything has to be built up to a certain level before the AI will think to. The newer AI might, the old AI will not. And will give you enough time to actually build up whatever the hell it was that you're going to build up, which is usually stone walls, castles, a whole bunch of ballista, a whole bunch of catapults, and just nasty, nasty wall defenses. I used to do that all the time. I used to drive my buddy nuts. He would always try to take his lumberjacks and cut a trail around the back and try to sneak back in. I knew he was trying to do that. I saw him go in, and then I literally just drove because I had a lot of catapults. I killed all the lumberjacks, and then I literally just cut my way in with a larger or using the catapults to break through even more, which was a hell of a lot faster. And then I flooded his base, and he's like, I still remember, you asshole, I can't believe you did that. And then I just yelled back, you're buying the beer. I know. Crazy, crazy stuff. But again, not old enough to, or not, I shouldn't say not young enough to still go and play video games all the time. But I will say, for those of you who have not seen it, go look up Unreal 5, the engine that they're using for graphics now, and watch the actual gameplay footage that's coming out of there. It is so realistic, you would swear it's an actual cinematic. And the cinematics are so real, they're pushing it. They're getting to the point where it's too realistic. You know. Let's see. Yep, Guard's saying he's got remaster version of Age of Empires on Xbox. Okay. For you to get some more time for you. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, when this is done, I have to go make sure everything's good set for tonight and probably reset everything so it's all good. Again, it is what it is. Brian saying, looked at 35 caliber air rifle that can shoot 1,000 yards. Most bullets don't go that far. Demon saying, that reminds me of the time I was playing Total War Rome 2 with a friend. And Lena said, yeah, you probably live in the, I'm sorry, something's blocking me here, the holographic universe. Yeah, that's a weird thing to actually think about. Apparently there's new technology they're talking about where they can download, well, they say download, I say copy. But if they download your consciousness into a synthetic brain, and your brain can, and that unit can produce a holographic exterior, and which is dense enough to actually pick up physical objects and move them, then you can be essentially immortal and become, a digital being. The thing is, people don't realize you lose a lot that way. You lose a lot of things that actually make life worth living. You will have no sense of smell. You'll have no sense of taste. You'll never eat anything again. You're never going to have sex. Granted, you're never going to get gas again or anything like that, but still, you're going to give up a lot. Now, if they're able to fix the rest of that, where you actually have your olfactory senses and things like that, but why would you ever eat anything again? You wouldn't need to. You could give yourself the sensation of it, but that's like having the sensation of eating a York peppermint patty. Of course, when I eat a York peppermint patty, I get the sensation of eating a York peppermint patty. But I mean, some of the tech coming out now is it's being restricted while they're still trying to push for it, which is kind of crazy. Just like that guy from Zimbabwe, whom it's basically an ether reactor that he built, and he was actually giving free energy to over 300 homes, and they killed him for it. Last I heard, he got poisoned, and suddenly he disappeared. So he's a dead man. He's in a shallow grave somewhere, which sucks. But I mean, let's see. Demon says he forgot that I sieged his city with the land army and the navy. Oh, for Rome too. Yeah, it's always good to get hit him in two different spots at the same time. Shocker. Sorry, that was an easy one, guys. My land army had no siege weapons, but my navy had nothing but siege weapons. Okay. I took his walls and his army before I sent in any troops. He was so mad. I would think so, being suckered like that. Guard says, you should clone yourself now if you get a... You should clone yourself now if you get that reference. I don't think I do. Planet Earth is a multiplayer online game. I would believe it. Okay. Honestly, seriously, if we were in something like The Sims, I've seen some mods for The Sims that will actually hurt your brain. And and that was years ago. And I'm just like, wow, some of the shit they got now, it would just be wow on so many levels. What the fuckery? Let's see. Demon says, when my ships came into the battle map, he was so mad we never played the game again. Yeah, there's certain people I never play multiplayer games with. Like I Command and Conquer Generals. There's one guy I wouldn't, because I said, we're going to start the clock. You got 20 minutes of no rush. You can't rush into my base with your Chinooks. Oh, what the hell, man? What's wrong with you? Finally, I was like, fine, we won't do any rush. All I did was built up as many guys as I could. As soon as the Chinooks came in, I had rocket guys just lined up and took them all down. What does he do? Quits the match. I'm like, you piece of shit. then when I told him, see, I won, he's like, you didn't beat me. I lost connection. Yeah, I lost connection, my freaking left nut. Brian says, FX dramatic 357, 1,000-yard shot with an air rifle. Okay, that I'd have to see. I just saw a whole thing on one of the best snipers in the world, White Feather there from in Vietnam. Saw the thing. Now I heard about him, but not as in depth as when the chubby Sparky talked about him. And that guy he's just focused, just focused, just unbelievably focused on what he did. So anyway, folks, I'm going to call it there. We've been on for 1 hour and 45 minutes exactly now, minus the time you guys had to come in and deal with all those god-awful freaking commercials that for some reason play in the beginning all the time. So I'm going to go through these last ones, and then I'm going to give a safety brief, and then we're done. Lena says, do you mean Ultra Admiral game? You're forced to babysit your army invasion with your Navy and for them and do anything. Dina says, some of those new air rifles are really powerful. It's kind of scary. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Some of the new crossbows are just freakishly good. I mean, you actually have to fire them with a scope. They're so accurate. Guardian says, may your sword stay sharp. What are you worrying about my sword for, Guardian? What the fuck? And Alan's saying, see you later. Okay, guys, safety brief. Okay. If you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, beat his fucking ass. It's better than having to go to a funeral or to the hospital. Okay. Either one's not fun. One's just a little bit worse than the other. I'll let you figure out which one. If your little soldier is going into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. Very important. And make sure you guys watch out on the roads. It's getting kind of weird. It's getting to fall. Now, we don't have to worry about black ice yet, but we do have a lot of critters moving around. So be careful, because I want to see you all here next week on Syntext Live. Thank you for everybody for joining me. Thank you for everybody who sent in Super Chat. And just thank you all for supporting the channel. This is Syntext ejecting.